picking up a Jax maybe so that you could go to the Baron lane at least. So that is an adjustment that EDG needs to think about, because for 3 games straight, you is or was on the Garen.
Yeah, and being on that Garen does put a lot of pressure on EDG to pick a champion that can go even with him. But EDG does look like they are picking up a very solid and safe couple of ADCs here in Kaisa and Ez. But Thunder Talk, the Alistar is up, but they are looking to pick up this Rakan instead with a Grant entrance. Okay, so maybe not the Rakan. Maybe Alistar is still a little bit more solid here as the pick, which, you know, very, very understandable.
They have been banning the Rakan for the first few games because SMY is just so good at the Rakan. Kind of threatened it a bit, but Alistar has been a priority now rather than the usual suspects, which is the Nautilus and the Galio. People have seen the value of the Alistar and how much plays they can do with just a pulverize and a headbutt. And that's why right now they have been prioritizing this pick a lot more, because Unbreakable Will in the early game is so effective at holding off those prime positions for a lot of our teams.
Yeah, and that does put a lot of safety for SMY to be able to just go in. We saw how good he was on that Alistar before. Just always at the forefront of the fight, always trying to get engages going with his head with Pulverize, and sometimes even Proto Belt into Pulverize, into headbutting somebody to isolate them away and either force a flash or force stasis. So I still feel like Alistar in the current meta is a slightly better pick than Gragas, but you know, Gragas has just been at the top of the support rankings for the longest time, and you know, I get that he's just such a powerhouse, but depending on the composition, you know, he struggles to look for, you know, the kind of place where he can be that effective, because a lot of the time many teams just pick very safe ADs that have a lot of movement to get away from that explosive cask.
I really haven't seen a lot of people, or especially during the series, the Gragas hasn't been that flashy compared to the past days that the Gragas could just get good body slams to explosive gas. That could be one of the problems why this Gragas hasn't seen value during this game. Aatrox getting picked for EDG. Qingdao 7 would really love to fight against the Thunder Talk, who is bruiser heavy, because that is where the Aatrox is good against. Now they're gonna go again. Wait, gonna go to the Xin Zhao too, and that Xiao Zhang. No, not Xiao Zhang. Yu is gonna be the one using this Aatrox.
Yu on Aatrox against Garen, and Qingdao 7 on that Xin Zhao. Also, X-Bai's Vi is something that a lot of teams really need to take note of, right? Because this Vi is such a menace when it comes to that 5-minute to 9-minute timeline, because there's just so many things that X-Bai can do that, you know, Qingdao 7 may not be able to respond to just because of their kits. I mean, that cease and desist can precipitate a gank, can prevent him from actually, or can prevent Qingdao 7 from actually fighting a smite battle in an objective. So I really like that that X-Vi is once again on that Vi.
Yeah, and having that Vi against the Aatrox is one of the best matchups to have, because you need someone to really get close to an Aatrox in order for you to shut him down. That is honestly the best answer whenever you have an Aatrox on the other team, is that you need someone to get really, really close, because he won't be able to hit that sweet spot in where he gets most of his regeneration, most of his life steals. That's why that's a good pick here for the side. Now, question is, how are they gonna answer back on that last game on the side of EDG? This Kaisa is a good pick. They have another priority pick, which is an Aatrox, which has fallen off during the playoffs, but is still a really good pick.
I feel like that is a very good question here to ask. How is the Aatrox going to be used here by you? Because you definitely is one of those players that has the talent to play that Aatrox. I mean, he was originally the mid laner, but in this series in particular, they have switched Xiao Zhang and him up. So I do want to see him perform that Aatrox in the top lane, because usually we have been seeing Aatrox more in the jungle than in his original intended role.
Yeah, and right now, because of the changes of the meta, people have been preferring to have this Aatrox on the top lane just because it's just way easier to just fight against most of the top laners. But against a Renekton and a Garen, usually you don't really have a good spot against them because the power spike of an Aatrox is when he gets his first item, his Youmuu's Ghostblade, and when he gets to level 7, in where his Darkin Blade would have less cooldown than it is right now at level 1.
Yeah, and that Darkin Blade is going to be a big factor in some of those later team fights, I feel, because that World Ender just gives him so much power, so much utility in being in a fight, and he has to land those Darkin Blades as well.
So is the one playing the Zeri now, not Z. So this is a good adjustments for them though. So in the mid lane, they're fighting against an Ezreal Jason, where Jace would really have a really big advantage again. But one of the good things about playing the Zeri against the Kai'Sa matchup is at least Soil would have easier ways of moving around in the early game, and that's what you want whenever you're fighting against a Kai'Sa. You don't really need to necessarily win, because Zeri in the late game is much more of a beast, because people have been building the Kai'Sa AP. Yes, she is strong in the late game, but the Zeri is way stronger.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you saw how effective Z was in that last game when he was just free hitting all over the place with the Zeri. You don't actually have to put yourself in an unsafe situation as that Zeri. You can always just be incredibly safe as long as your team is in front of you. That, I feel, is going to be the case here with SMY on that Alistar and Xby, on that Vi.
This is a good spot.
Xby, this is going to be
what a deny!
But SMY, he's going to tackle a couple of tower shots. A very good denial there to keep them off and actually give EDG the first blood.
What a great deny, though. That was the interaction that I want to see. The body slam to the head. Because he got cancelled, he got a brink of that damage from the tower. Wasn't even able to use the flash effectively. And that's why EDG just took a really good first blood in the bot lane.
Yeah, and with that first blood for EDG, everything is starting to turn sideways here for Thunder Talk. I mean, they could have had a little bit better of a gank if they kind of waited for SMI to get to that level 4 and maybe be a little bit more tankier. But no, they just went in for it. They tried to go for a cheeky play. It did not pay off.
Yeah, and XY wasn't really that close still. If it was a bit closer, that could have been way better for them, because at least he could react with Volt Break or even a cease and desist before that gank happened. But that's just unfortunate for the side of EDG. Now that happened, EDG could just use that in the favor in this fight in the bot lane. As long as Soul doesn't back away, it is going to be way better for this team right here, because as we are seeing it right now, both of the supports aren't rotating to the Baron lane side of the map, and where we do expect that they always rotate on that Baron lane, because that is where most of the kill pressure is going to be.
Yeah, and a lot of that kill pressure is going to be coming from, you know, this, well, I was going to say the Baron laners, but it does look like they switched it up a little bit. Yeah, Alone, wow, Alone actually, the 3 times he's played the Kai'Sa, he has a 100% win rate. That is a pretty good stat to be proud of, but that may be a little bit of a problem for him if Thunder Talk are able to kind of take this game and put that mark on his perfect win rate.
That's going to be 75% just after this game, so that's why it's going to be bad if ever that happens. But with Thunder Talk Gaming, they're in really good position. Even if they lost 1 kill a while ago, it's not really that far off for EDG to be winning. This is what I like about the Xin Zhao versus Vi matchup. Most of the time it's going to be Xin Zhao favored in those 1v1s, but on those fights, at least it's easier to get the prime targets with a Vi.
Yeah, the Vi just is a jungler that doesn't 1v1 the other jungler. She gets into the team fights and she engages on the other team's carries, and she really gives you a big chance of just being a menace to the enemy team when she does get going. So right now, the objective has spawned. They are looking to fight over this Infernal
they got
Drake.
seen. Oh yeah, because they used to wind becomes lightning mid lane.
Oh, that could have been a little bit dicey. Not gonna lie there.
No vision though.
But
the side of EDG. So XBY has good position.
XY. He's actually found Shingdao7, and they will isolate that. Shingdao. His Stressing Guard and Flash will keep him alive. That was a perfect explosive task to protect him, but that does mean that XBY now is priority here. Z is looking to take Shingdao7 off of the map entirely. That is a good question. Where did they come? Where did they go? Yu is going to be coming in from the top, but there is already the Drake being taken, and that is a little bit more damage for Thunder Talk because of the Infernal Drake. So now they have to get away from this.
That is not Shingdao's fault. They were a bit too late. Yeah, that's why he wasn't able to get that Drake in their favor, because they were a bit too late. I was expecting the rotation already, but because also I can't blame Xiao Zhan because he's half HP in that fight. But Yu was a bit too late compared to the others though. Xiao Bai might want to steal this, but I think this is gonna be EDG.
Yeah, I feel like EDG is just going to take it hook, line, and sinker. Zero risk there for EDG because Thundertalk really a little bit low, did not want to commit to that all too much. But Shin having a great time in the top lane against you. I mean, he's just a Garen. He's not gonna lose.
Yeah. He's gonna win.
And you're actually just gonna go for it. There's a Damash Injustice. They can't actually close the kill out onto you. XBY, he will take a couple of tower shots, but finally that dive will come into effect. That will be a good dive for Thunder Talk. But now they will be countered by Z getting rest on in the mid lane. He will be killed off by Alone. He almost got killed onto Alone in a 2v1?
Here comes Soil.
What was that? And now they have isolated Shingdao7's Crescent Guard right onto Soil, but he will just get taken away by SMY. Just burning him down with the Ignite.
That was really close. And having that fight though, I was... Because, imagine if he was not exhausted during that battle. Z could have killed him easily. And Xiao Zhang will be surprised, or rather, mid lane alone is going to be surprised before that even happens. And now Thunder Talk, what are they going to do here? With the advantage that they got the dragon, and now without any referral to the mid lane, they're just going to punish Shingdao7 again. And this is not really a good spot for Shingdao7. Losing the early game is just bad. Look at that replay. Really good flash from Soil. He could have been killed there.
Yeah, but Soil, knowing his limits, knowing when to pull away, knowing when to flash away is incredibly key to playing that Zeri. So good hustle there, but will it be enough for Thunder Talk to get back into this game a little bit? Because yeah, EDG is the one that is kind of calling the shots. They are pretty much even 2-2 so far, but EDG does have that one tower. Because at this point, they do need to rely on that Vi's playmaking ability.
They would really need to go for kills though, for the side of the Thunder Talk Gaming. Top lane is super low. They can take that down easily, but with Shingdao7 in the area too, Shin might not be good here.
Yeah, XBY is there, but Shin with the 2 versus 1, still holding his own. He is a Garen, so...
Wait a second.
Okay, XBY though, he found Shingdao, and now he's gonna go for the cease and desist even through the flash.
1v1?
I said that Vi wasn't a 1v1 champion, but he proves me wrong, and he does take that 1v1 kill against the Shin Sao. And now they back away, they get away scot-free. Thunder Talk! What a play!
He's not even ahead, and he got that kill easily. So now with that, you can definitely say that even in the 1v1, he can definitely fight. But Xiao Zhang, where are you?
He's gonna go down here. Thunder Talk once again looking for more. That Ezreal was just not in the right place at the right time. He did not expect SMY to be there. He did not expect Soil to be there. And that's just what happens when you let your guard down. Thunder Talk, they are pulling ahead.
They're catching them. Thunder Talk is just showing who's boss. The way they move around the map usually isn't expected by EDG because of their sticks. Don't really have a lot of priority in the early game. That's why they are struggling. This chase pick has been really bad for the side of EDG, because who could fight a chase this early in the game? Because even at a 2v1 could really hold his own. And now EDG with the disadvantage with a 0-2 on Shingdao7. A while ago it didn't really work in their favor when Shingdao was at this point. Now how are they gonna answer now with the Mountain Drake slowly but surely is gonna spawn right now?
Yeah, and once again, EDG are the first ones here. Although the Scuttle Crab Shrine is there for Thunder Talk, EDG was the first ones there, but they have kind of peeled off of it. Now Thunder Talk just going to hard commit to this Mountain Drake. Yeah, you is
Nice
there,
cast.
but they're just going to get this smite. And that is an okay cast, but Xby is still there. Langui trying to play Interceptor. He does not want his team to get engaged on. That's just a free Drake. EDG really did not contest that.
Yeah, because they invested a lot on the late game power of their champions, it's really hard for them to contest for these first two objectives. And because they don't really have that much items and Xingdao 7 is not really fed, this is all coming into place for Thunder Talk.
Oh, Langui, he gets aggressed on. There's a Demolition Justice coming in from the skies, but the exhaust goes in onto Shin. Now Xingdao 7 with the re-engage. He's going to get put into the bomb and taken down. And that was a little bit ambitious from EDG. They are still going. They got the exhaust now onto Soil, so they were trying to take that carry down with them, but not quite yet. Z, though, with the barrier will keep himself alive. There's another re-engage coming in. Alone burning down, but they will be able to take that Garen with them. But there's the pulverize onto Xiaojang, and then another kill onto you. Langui, the last man standing, who is able to fight because that Ezreal is not in here. They will take that tower, and Thunder Talk have gotten another advantage.
SMY is just crazy with the pulverizes, and now Thunder Talk just got a lot of kills, 4k gold lead just because of that fight. And we got a tower 2 in the mid lane, and now let's take a look at that replay, how they started this fight. A great pulverize on the back line was the reason why Langui almost got taken down, but that tower takedown in the mid lane, and also this headbutt from SMY was just perfect. And the re-engage that came after here was won because SMY was able to get a really great pulverize after that. And look at this, SMY just gonna swoop in, it's gonna go together, and he's gonna get a triple pulverize out of nowhere.
What a big Alistar this is. SMY, even with low mana, knows that he has enough to just impact that fight and give so many kills, so many advantages to his allies, to Thunder Talk. It's 4-1 in terms of towers, 7-4 in terms of kills, or 7-3 in terms of kills, and Thunder Talk are starting to pull away here with the gold lead that they have. They can just threaten this Baron, and they are just actually committing to it. There is no Xingdao 7. He is going to get aggressed on headbutt pulverize and jumped on. There's the Demolition Justice, takes him out of the fight. Langui's dead as well, and then they get another catch onto you. Alone and Xiaojang, the last two members. And
what a ball breaker! What
a ball breaker flash! Alone has been put alone under that turret. Xiaojang, the last man alive, and Soil is going to look for it. He wants to take this Ezreal down with him, but maybe not diving down that deep. That's a 4 for nothing.
Oh man, now they're just gonna be taking this Baron for free just because of that. And Thunder Talk, especially when they start this fight, they have two ways of going at it, SMY or Xby, and whoever starts it, the other one is just gonna follow through, and that just snowballs in favor of Thunder Talk Gaming. And they're just so good at manipulating these fights, especially if they got towers down. They're not gonna be afraid of taking this fight against EDG.
There is nothing in the world that is more intimidating than an Alistar coming to bear down at you at full force with a Garen pitting you at the same time, and 3 members of EDG just fell to them immediately.
Yeah, and so far I've been surprised that the Gragas coming in from Langui hasn't been that perfectly playing, and that's what I wanted to see. But because he doesn't have any space, doesn't have any damage from EDG, it's hard for him to make any plays. That's why EDG is having a lot of problems here. Now they can't even execute their composition well.
Yeah, I feel like the Gragas has been overvalued here compared to the Alistar, because the Alistar really is just a playmaker. That's what he's good at, and that is what Thunder Talk is always using him for. I mean, SMY has just made some of the most beautiful pulverized plays that we have seen in the playoffs, and he's gonna make another one right here onto you once again, and even that World Ender can't save him from the Demolition Justice. They get Xingdao 7 as well as that inhibitor tower in the bot lane. They're gonna go onto the mid lane now as well. An accelerated shot blast takes Alone down to almost half HP with just 1 skill.
It's really hard that Thunder Talk can't even take them down. Oh, Langui!
Oh god. Yeah, Langui in danger as well. He used the flash to get out of there, and everybody just chased him down. The pile on from Thunder Talk is so insane. They're not afraid of just taking EDG. Oh my god, SMY there again. The action shift buffer just barely saved Xiaojang's life.
Yeah, now because of that, EDG loses 2 towers, 2 inhibitor towers, and Thunder Talk is just gonna take them down left or not. Again, starting it with SMY with a really great pulverize again. And what was that? Wait, the shock blast was the reason why that was an easy demolition justice right there.
Damn.
Good communication from Thunder Talk. And now because of that, they have enough space in taking this resources. Xingdao 7 can't even get close to his jungler. And now Bolt Breaker.
XY doesn't even care that everybody's near him, that EDG has more
so
members,
tanky.
because he's
Wait,
really tacky. SMY messed up that pulverize, and that
He's
may
dead?
be the cause of him not actually dying, but getting no presence in this next fight. Oh man, this is just Thunder Talk doing the victory round though. They are just not giving any care to what EDG is doing, to the damage that EDG lays down, because they know that they can tank it and more.
They're just moving left and right, and Thunder Talk is just really prioritizing and just winning a lot of this battle so far. EDG with this, I think it's a bit too late for them to find the winning condition during this game, because even the damage coming in from Z's shock blasts have been really hard against them. So now what is EDG gonna do here? They're gonna try to wait out alone getting his items, but honestly it's not really gonna be that effective at this point in the game. They don't even have penetrations from both of these carries, and that is the reason why they can't even do damage against those 3 front lines that they have in Thunder Talk.
Not to mention the carries of Thunder Talk are insanely ahead. 3,000 gold ahead on the side of Soil, and Z 2,500 gold ahead. They are just absolutely taking them to task. And another catch here onto Xingdao 7. He's been a little bit too in front, and he will get chased down there, and it will be Z's kill. And they're looking for more. Xiaozhang has to flash out. Langui a little bit low. You with Ender looking to try to turn this around, but not really that effective here, as Shin is going to put a little bit more lane pressure to secure them this Baron, so that EDG really have no way to get into this fight and to steal this.
No damage.
They may just look for pits.
Oh, they can't even do anything. SMY, if he gets close, that's dead.
That's it. And that's going to be it. That's exactly what you said. Predicted. Langui just dies there. There's no way can you get anywhere near Thunder Talk at the moment. And the entire base is gone.
Might be the last time.
That's gonna be it. Is Yu has to go hit the stasis. XBI is gonna focus up on that Nexus, though. They will at least take down 1, maybe 2. Xiaozhang now inside their own fountain will get taken out before the Nexus goes. And Thunder Talk once again dominating the fight, dominating the conversation here against Edward Gaming.
This is what I wanted to see. Thunder Talk being in the dominating performance